All right, Wes, let's hit into our next topic, which is going to be what have we played in 2023? Now, we haven't talked about this previously, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to do like a back and forth? Do you want to go first and then I'll go with all mine second? Or do you want me to go first and you go second? Or what do you want to do?
You know what? You can go first. You can rattle off what you played, and I'll rattle off what I played, and we'll go from there.
All right. This will probably work because here's the truth. This here's my caveat to everything. This year has been the busiest year of my entire life. I have a daughter who's turning 2, which obviously I haven't had previously to that. That's my first child, so that's taking up a ton of time. Work's extremely busy. Helping to run their enthusiast is extremely busy. So I'm doing tons of things. My hands in a lot of different pots that I'm working with here. My time was very limited. I didn't get to play as many games as I would have liked to. Here's what I played. Let me pull up my list and I'll kind of mention a couple different things from each one. I'm going to start at the bottom and go to the top because this is kind of like oldest to newest. Atari 50. Holy crap. If you have not played Atari 50, please go play Atari 50. It is a museum in the palm of your hands if you're playing it on Switch, or on a big screen if you're playing it on PlayStation or Xbox.
Bro, I bought that for Xbox, and it's still I have to get to it. I'm dying to get to it.
It's an interactive museum, Wes. I have no other way of explaining it to you than that. And you can play with the game. So obviously, they'll introduce a game, they'll give you some history about it, they'll tell you an interesting story, and they're like, oh, here's the game if you want to check it out. And in some cases, in most cases, the games are like new versions of those old games. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not quite the old game. It's like, here's like a newer, dialed
Okay.
up version of it. But when I played it, I never. There's nothing else like it. Now that same company has made a few other things, like Karateka, is another game that they've like kind of did this like they're calling them gold remasters now. And the company
Mm-hmm.
is Digital Eclipse. So if you guys want to look into them, their stuff is awesome. It's been awesome for years, and this is them like really finding themselves. So check that out if you can. Super Mario Wonder, very early on. I'm in the middle of Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry. Oh my God, Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom, which I'll get into in a minute. But my daughter is around, so I try to play that. She really likes. She's into Mario, so I try to play Mario and stuff when she's around. So I'm just playing this a little bit at a time here and there. Haven't really devoted myself to it, so I can't say too much other than that it's a fun game. Crash Bandicoot 4, same reason. Daughter's around. It's a colorful, happy little game. Um, Grand Theft Auto 5, not when my daughter's around. So that game is when she's sleeping. And I went back to this because I actually never played it until this year. This year was the first time I played Grand Theft Auto 5. And you're like, wow, you're the only person on the planet that has never played Grand Theft Auto 5. At least I
No,
felt that way.
no, you and me, because I haven't played it either.
Well, I played it now, and it's pretty damn good. It kind of
Okay.
reminded me. I went through a long gap, and I think what happened was Saints Row came out and it was a miss, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was really looking forward to Saints Row West. I was like super looking forward to it,
I know you were.
and it got like trashed in like tons of reviews, and I'm sure I'll give it a chance one day. But my biggest problem was it didn't stay true to itself. All the reviews were like, oh well, like it's holding back. Like they had the tire place was called Rim Jobs, and they changed the name to make it more like socially acceptable. Like it was a tire place, dude. Like it's a joke. Relax. Like you do not understand who you are and what this game was, and they didn't. And they changed a lot of stuff, so that turned me off. Once that turned me off, I was dying to play a game like that. And what better game than Grand Theft Auto to fill that void?
Okay, that's cool.
It,
Yeah, the last one I played was 4, and I really liked 4, but I was like, eh. And then 5 came out, and it was like, eh. I think there was some other stuff that was coming out that I didn't have the time to devote to GTA, so I just kind of bypassed it. But people are still playing it today, so
yeah, I've only played a few hours into it, but it's very good. Especially like some of the characters are interesting and stuff. Rockstar does great work. So positive things about GTA 5. Another game I was playing around my daughter was Sackboy Big Adventure, which is a fantastic action platformer, I guess you would call it. If you've never played Sackboy Big Adventure, it's very, very good. Surprisingly good. GoldenEye 007. Well, there's two versions.
yeah.
There's the gorgeous version on Xbox, which has no multiplayer. And there's the ugly version on the N64, which has multiplayer. Wes, why can't people just give me what I want? Why was there no multiplayer on Xbox? For God's sake.
Oh, you
It
mean
looks
Switch?
no, there was no multiplayer on Xbox.
Right, right.
Yeah,
But it also came out for the Switch,
it looks
which
like a turd. I want the
which
beautiful one that also has multiplayer.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you said the 64.
I'm sorry.
You
Thank
meant
you for correct.
Switch.
Of course I meant that. Wes, my heart's always with the 64, you know that.
I know.
But
I know. And
I,
people,
I
if you haven't no match true feelings, go back and watch our video where he goes on a rant about GoldenEye and not having multiplayer on the Xbox. It's a
dude,
good
it's an
watch.
atrocity. The 64 version, or sorry, the Switch version is like, you know, I haven't tried it since launch, but it was basically broken. It was unplayable. And I knew that going into it. I was like, why is the multiplayer on Switch? What I'm sure they had to jump through hoops to get it done, but
Mhm.
anyways, I actually played more of the Xbox version because of that, because it's essentially broken, and that's the only reason to play it on the Switch is for the multiplayer, and it's broken, or at least it was. The Xbox version looks fantastic, plays fantastic. So I played a lot more of the
Mhm.
single player. I want to say maybe I got like halfway through the game, but I don't f around, Wes. I'm playing on like the hardest modes. I'm not like putting this shit on easy. I'm doing double O agent all day. Um, but yeah, I want to say I got like halfway through it, so I need to go back and finish that. More ongoing stuff. TMNT Shredder's Revenge. I'm letting this wash over my body for like a long period of time because it's fantastic, and
It
like
really is.
I'll get an itch one day and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go beat a level. And I go beat a level. A couple months go by, like, oh, I'm gonna go beat a level. And I'll beat a level. I'm really enjoying this game. But I'm also trying to savor it because I don't know when I'm gonna get another one. Metroid Zero Mission. Analog Pocket came in strong. This was one of the first games I played of the year. They
Mhm.
completed. I actually started at the end of 2022. Finished it in 2023. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Top tier GBA game. Gotta have it.
Nice.
Finally, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is what I'm currently playing. I don't know how long I've been playing this for. It's been hours and hours and hours. Wes, I'll play this game for the next year. Every day I play it, no problem. I'm not like, oh, I don't want to play this today. I wake up, I'm like, oh, give me that Zelda.
Ooh, see, I don't have the time to invest in it, and I really want to play it because everybody says it's really really good. I don't have the time.
I was there with you. No, I made a lifestyle change a few months ago. I haven't had a lot of time to play games, as this list
Mhm.
should be obvious to you because that's my final game. The only time I have is either at night when my daughter's asleep or in the morning before anybody in my household wakes up. And I'm usually an early bird. I'm usually tired at night, which is not a good time for me to play games because then I just fall asleep and I don't want to do it.
Mhm.
Then get up at 5 a.m. Now, should I go to the gym? Probably. Should I be more healthy? Yes, absolutely. No. I eat as fast as I can and I go play Legend of Zelda until I have to do other responsibilities. I get at least an hour in every day.
Okay.
But I force myself to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm not doing that by choice.
You're crazy.
You wouldn't do that?
Ugh. Dude, I struggle to get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym.
Well, see,
But
yeah,
but
I should be going to the gym.
but I there are times where, and I'll kind of get into it on my list, where if I wake up in the middle of the night, like let's say to go to the bathroom, I'm one of those people that I'm up, and it takes me a good like hour to go back to sleep. So I will go downstairs and I will start playing whatever I'm currently playing. I will play that game for like an hour, hour and a half until I get tired again.
I don't have that problem. I fall asleep on like the drop of a dime.
Mm-mm.
But I get that.
Yeah.
Enough about me. I talked a lot. Wes, do you want well here? Do you want to make any comments about the games I mentioned, or do you want to go right to your list? I'll leave it up to you.
Nah, you're good, man. I mean, I made my comments with your stuff. It's some of the stuff I played, some of the stuff I haven't. So it's but you played. That's what matters. You played.
I played where I could, man.
You still played.
You get a
Don't
lot more.
ever,
Go ahead.
don't ever stop playing.
Of course not. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. to play. Obviously, I'm dedicated to that more than my health. You got some big titles on here, bigger
Oh
than
yeah,
mine.
man.
I would say overall. But go ahead.
Oh man. So whatever. I'll start at the top of mine. What I recently finished is Spider-Man 2. It
Oh,
it
okay.
it made me crack open my PlayStation 5, hook it up finally after 3 years sitting in the closet. Man, that game was so good. That, if I have to pick, that is my game of 2023.
I could see
It's,
that.
it was fantastic. Everything about it, top notch. It was so good. So good.
Let me ask you this: did you like it more than the first one in Miles Morales?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't
Without
expecting
hesitation.
that answer. Okay,
And the first one was good. And Miles Morales was great. But this, hands down, the best of the three.
okay.
Best of the three. What else did I play? I played Mortal Kombat 1, because I gotta have my fighters. I love
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat.
All right, let me throw in a sidebar real quick. Are you going to buy Tekken when it comes out next month?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I
I
bought
was
Mortal
just
Kombat 1, and it was I really liked it. I liked it a lot. The story made sense. So I'm like, oh, they're just gonna reboot Mortal Kombat. But as you playing through the story mode, you understand why.
they kind of
And
made things go more fluidly between like the
it
story.
did. It really did. And you kind of saw the rise of the Mortal Kombat characters that you know now. It was good. It was really good. That's all I'm gonna say. It was really, really good. It
Now,
played good. The fatalities were great. It was what Mortal Kombat always was and still is, which is fantastic.
it had a much bigger roster starting out than the original.
It did.
What was it? 8? I think 8 was in the original,
Mm-hmm.
right? How many did they start out with? And like, I would imagine that was probably a bit of a challenge to incorporate all these people who weren't in the original. But you're saying it worked, so they must have did.
Oh yeah, no, there were a lot. I mean, there was basically they gave you a lot of the original characters plus a lot of from like two, because they're all in it. Like
Gotcha.
Reptiles in it, and Rain and Smoke is in it, and Raiden. Raiden is not the main god anymore, so he's mortal.
Interesting.
It's
Oh,
it's
that's very interesting.
it's really good. It's really good. So yes, so that was one. Mortal Kombat, Star Wars Survivor, another top notch AAA title. So good.
That's a black eye on my year too because that first one was awesome, dude. I played the hell out of that first game, and I should have gotten the second one. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to commit the time, so I was like, I'll wait till it's cheap and I'll buy it. Still haven't bought it yet, but that's something I'm definitely going to go back to.
Oh yeah, Survivor was, if you like the first one, you'll love the second one.
That's what I want to hear, Wes. That's what I want
If
to hear.
if you like the first one, you'll love the second one. So good. Story wise, it was great. It just built on the first one, Fallen Order.
My only
I
problem
can't.
with the first one was that the gameplay was slightly off. Like I felt like I would give commands, like I would put button inputs in,
Mhm.
and it was just a delay. I don't know if you noticed that. Like it wasn't as sharp as it should have been. Does it feel more finely tuned now? Do you know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? Do I sound crazy?
No, there was a little lag, but no, they tightened up the controls
Okay, good, good.
definitely on this one. What else did I play? Oh, God of War Ragnarok. I played
Hmm.
this year, finished it. Played that in the beginning of the year. Played
On
it, finished
PS5?
it. No, PS4. I didn't
What?
hook up my PS5 until
But you had
November.
one is the point. You should have just bought it on PS5 and played it on PS5. You're a madman.
I know. But the new DLC just came out, so I'm eager to play that. But that was really good story wise. It was That was really good.
Did you like it better than the first game? I haven't played it yet, so I'm just want to get your feel for it.
I think I liked the first one better.
Okay.
Only because there was that wow moment in the first one
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that caused me to scream so
Mm-hmm.
loud,
I got you.
and my wife thought I was like
I know
having a
what you're talking
fit.
about.
That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't get that in the second one.
It's going to be hard to replicate that. I mean, they can't do the same trick again, right?
They can't. They tried. They tried. The story wise, there was a lot of plot twists and like oh my god moments, but that that one scene in the first one, it just that's going to hold a place in my heart as one of the most memorable moments in video game history. Uh,
Agreed.
uh, RoboCop, Rogue City, that I'm
Oh
playing
yeah,
now. I'm currently playing that now. It was the same developer that did the Terminator game, which a lot of people didn't realize existed. It snuck by under the radar.
it did, and it was supposed to be a pretty damn good game. That Terminator game.
It was good. My nephew actually brought it up to me. He was like, "Hey, did you ever play this Terminator game?" I'm like, "What Terminator game?" He's like, "For Xbox One." I'm like, "No," and he showed it to me, and I'm like, "I've never seen it." He's like, "Yeah." Uh, he's like, I found it. I heard about it, found it, ordered it. Then I wound up ordering it the next day and played it, which was really good. And so it's from. I expect nothing less from RoboCop. I'm in the middle of RoboCop now, and I like it. It's they did a really good job
It's
with
got a lot of
RoboCop.
positive reviews too. Like it's not getting like 10 out of 10s, but it's getting like 8s out of 10s and stuff like that. Like it's supposed to
Hmm.
be a good game.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like you, I did GoldenEye for Xbox. I couldn't wait to play it when it came out. Even though it didn't have online, it was just nice to play GoldenEye again.
It is nice to play, and it feels so much better having two friggin' thumbsticks than those buttons on the N64. Which
Um,
it's fine. I can deal with that, but definitely better having the thumbsticks.
Liza P. Man,
This I
that
haven't touched.
that game made me so mad. I had to put it down. It's so freaking hard,
Well, this
bro.
is like a Souls like. Have you played a game like that before?
Ugh. Yeah, I never finished them because they were so incredibly hard.
Hmm.
Liza P is insanely difficult, and it made me angry to the point where I had to put it down for a little bit. Which I put it down to start playing Spider Man. I was like, okay, I need a break, and then Spider Man came out, and I started playing that.
I got you.
Liza P, I will get back to. I just have to calm down. I'm still very angry, and I'm not ready to go back to that just yet.
I
Uh,
think it also Wes. I think it also has to do when we get older. Because when I was younger, I would have more time, and I'd be like, I'm gonna beat this mother. I'm gonna do it. And now I'm like, oh no, just go grab something else
yeah,
immediately. Like, I don't have the time for this.
yeah, it's hard, man. After I died like 20 times, it was like, okay, I need to put this down for now.
Right? How much of your time are you going to invest to getting just destroyed? You know, after like a half an hour, you're like, I can't do this.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm as we get older, it's like our reflexes aren't as fast.
It's
So it's
true.
like I can't counter as fast as I want to. It's like I can't dodge. I try. But I'm like, okay, it's this will be a later time. Resident Evil 4.
Hmm.
Ooh, you know what? That was going to be my game of the year,
Hmm.
kind of sort of until Spider Man. Resident Evil 4. Capcom did it again. Capcom did it again, and I wasn't going to get it because I'm like, they don't need to remake Resident Evil 4. It was new enough. It was fine the way it was. They did a good job. They did a really good job with the remake.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up for sure. I was waiting. I've learned to wait with Capcom because they always add VR modes later on,
Mm-hmm.
and for 7 they made a gold edition, and I bought 7, and then I bought the gold edition because I'm an idiot. Uh, But I didn't want to do that same mistake with 8. So 8 has a gold edition now. I'm just waiting for that to hit a sale. I'm going to pick up 8's gold edition.
Mhm.
4, you don't need like a gold edition or anything. I can buy 4 now, which I will pick up when it's on sale. And that has a VR mode I think got added like a week ago. So
Mhm.
I'm ready to buy those games at this point.
Cool. Uh, Double Dragon Gaiden. I played.
Double- I picked this up, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet.
It's Double Dragon. It's fine.
That's it.
It-
Breaking my heart.
you know what? It's. I think they kind of came out with it after the success of Streets of Rage 4,
Okay.
and I think it was trying to ride on that coattails. And the remake. It was the nice graphics. It played great. It was Double Dragon. It was what you expect.
Right.
It's not bad. It's just it is what it is. Oh,
Did
Street
you?
Fighter Six. Street Fighter Six is another fighter I played this year.
Okay.
That was good, but I stopped playing it real quick.
Why? Something else came out.
It was the whole open world thing was it kind of just lost me,
Yeah.
and it didn't
It doesn't.
feel like
It
Street
doesn't
Fighter.
need it.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't need it. That's like when we get into our Sega topic for the Patreon segment. If Crazy Taxi's in like some gargantuan open world, I'm gonna be like annoyed. I'm like, why do I have to drive 50 minutes away to the other side of the town? Like, it can be a big city, I guess, but not. It doesn't need to be huge. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
it, or like how Burnout went from like pick your level, race your level, what's your tier and all this stuff, and they were like, oh, here's a big open world for Paradise. Like, don't I don't want that, man.
That killed me with Burnout. I love Burnout, but once they did Paradise with the whole open world stuff, I was done.
It's a cool idea, but it's not what I just want it to be simple. It's easy to understand. You pick your levels, you go here. It's like drive around the city and find a race. And like, can you just tell me which race to go to? Like, come on. Like, Revenge was great. It's like, here's your race.
That's it.
Get,
That's all I want.
get whatever objectives you need to. And guess what? Here's the next race. You know what it is about that too that I like more? It's always curated to your experience. It does not waste your time. It doesn't put you in a giant open world where you're running around trying to figure out what to do. It's like, no, we made this just for you. Here's the next thing. Here's the next thing. Here's the next thing. That's what I want. I don't want your massive open worlds where I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do all the time. Now, you
I
may be
got you,
saying to
man.
yourself, Matt, you just talked about Tears of the Kingdom earlier, and that's a different kind of game. I want to be very clear. If I want that experience, I'll go to that experience. I don't want that in my racing game, which I've already known to be burnout, right?
Or my fighting game.
Exactly. My response is going to be from the NES, Zelda has always had an open world. It has always had exploration at the key to it. It didn't go, oh, we're going to be this linear game, so here's a giant open world just because we can do
I hear you, man. I hear you. And that's what kind of killed it for Street Fighter Six. It was the fighting mechanics were good. It looked good. It played good. New characters. I couldn't. The open world just kind of just lost me.
Yeah,
Uh,
when I saw it, I was like, man, they do not want me to play Street Fighter anymore. Like I heard it got great reviews. I heard all these great things, but
mhm.
there's some things I can just know that's not for me. I'm like, I don't give me an old school fighter. Give me the characters on the screen. Let me pick the thing. Let
Yep.
me pick the stage. Let me
Yep.
fight. That's
Yep.
that's what I want. You're throwing too much at me. It's a lot of work. I don't want to go run your damn city and find stupid objectives to do. I just want to fight. Like, let me just play your
That's it.
game
I mean, I played the arcade mode more than the actual open world.
because
I just
that's the
wanted to
mode
fight.
you want to play when you play a fighting game.
That's
Because
it.
that's what fighting games used to be.
That's it. What else did I play? I played a game called Gungrave Gore, which is based off an anime. There were two versions for the PS2 that came out. It's just it's just a third person shooter,
Okay.
over the top shooter, very anime inspired. over the top weapons. It was great. And then I played a whole bunch of retro stuff, like a lot of retro stuff,
I feel
a
that.
lot of retro stuff.
I didn't include most of my stuff on my list because I don't remember. Whereas the newer consoles, you can kind of go back and see what you played. Like I have ways of doing that, so I was able to get a list of what I played. Next year, I think I'm gonna start writing stuff down
Yeah.
because I don't remember shit anymore. But for the retro stuff specifically, it's like maybe I played Ninja Gaiden. I don't remember, but that's a game I go back to all the time. You know,
Oh yeah. I love, like, I have a Raspberry Pi and those little like emulator handhelds, and it's like I go to them all the time. If I want a quick fix, a 20-minute fix, I just pop it open and play something and I'm good. Back in the day, I could play like Mercs for a Sega Genesis, and within 15 minutes, I beat the whole game. It was great. It was satisfying.
damn, 15 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 20.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it was just I like that. I will always refer back to the retro stuff because that's where my heart is.
I'm with you, man. Those shorter, easier experiences at this point in my life are much easier to do. One thing that wasn't on my list that I played, I go back to this pretty frequently, is Asteroids. There's an Xbox 360 version just because it's easily acceptable,
Hmm.
accessible. I can play it on my Series X. It was an arcade release for 360. It was a newer version of Asteroids, but they have the old version on there too. Dude,
Oh wow.
I'll pop 15 minutes into there,
Okay,
pop back out, good to go.
that's cool. Okay, I didn't. I don't think I knew Asteroids came out. I never saw it. I don't
It
think.
did. It had like a new skit. Like it'll look like a new game, but then
Okay.
in the menu, it's like, "Do you just want to play Asteroid?" I'm like, "Yes, I just want to play the old ass Asteroid." But
you
yeah,
know, it's funny. I go to Starcade, that retro arcade, and that's close to me, and they have Asteroid and Asteroid Deluxe, you know, machines. Man, I sucked at those, and I still suck. I was never good at asteroids.
I'm not saying I'm good. I'm just saying for some reason I love that game. Like my uncle had it uh, when I was a kid. He had a couple arcade games. One of them never worked. He might have had the Star Wars one, but it was like it was never turned on. It never worked. But the Asteroids one always worked, and
Mm-hmm.
I played that every time I went over there.
I was never any good at it. I tried to play it, and I still to this day I'll go in and I'll play it. I don't get very far in it, but I'll play it.
Dude, if I ever have like a huge property somewhere and like a ton of money, I'm just gonna buy old arcade games.
Yeah, man, that's where it's at.
But they're so expensive. The upkeep, there's so much hard work to
Yeah.
do with arcade games, and it's worth it. If but I can't afford that or have a giant. I don't have a compound where I can like, sit here and start put. If I brought an arcade machine into this house, there'd be a knife in my neck. My wife would murder me, Wes. Like there's no way I'm bringing an arcade machine in here.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, but that's all I played. I know there's a few that I missed, but next year supposedly is another big year of for games, and we'll have another decent sized list of stuff that I've played.
Yeah, we'll have. I don't even know what's coming out, man. I'm so like busy with stuff. I like when stuff comes out now. I'm just like, when's it $20? I'll buy your game when it's $20 because I don't have the time, and I'll get to it when I get to it. I just bought God of War Ragnarok.
Hmm.
Got it for $30 on PS5. It was the cheapest price I've seen it since the day it came out. And I was like, all right, $30, I can do that. When am I going to play it? Definitely after Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only thing so far I'm looking forward to is next year. We got Tekken. We got Episode 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Mm.
We got Alone in the Dark, and I got Prince of Persia. Outside of that, I know there's a bunch of stuff coming. I don't know what, so we'll see.